What up, y'all, and welcome to Richmond Raceway for the sixth race in the 2022 NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series season. Haven't been at it since Denver 3 weeks ago, where Baranowskis got her second win of the year, eighth win of her career. Now we're gearing up for 75 laps of action of short track racing, first short track on the season, and Willow Springs winner Sam Young is on the pole. Can Young go 2 for 2 for a winning race as he starts on the pole? We'll find out. Mitchell Collins to his outside as I am joined by Vince Freeze once again.
Yeah, here we go, man. Back to the old short track grind. This is it between Richmond to the final short track stretch. This could be determining a championship winner, as we do have that spring break coming up, you could say. And you got to look at Audra Baranowskis, definitely the favorite today. Donovan Cage in the back. This is her time to shine, extend that elusive points lead.
And this is that little stretch here in May where you got Richmond and then you got Martinsville, and then the Truck Series is off for 6 weeks. So we will not be back until Pensacola on July 1st after Martinsville next week. So this is the 2-race stretch where you're going to get your big deep breath after these 2 races of short track action. Row 2, Henry Sanford and Jack James. Row 3, Baranowskis and Enzo Nereza, our Daytona winner. Row 4, Lane Sanders and Billy Kidd. And Row 5, Cody Magarick and Roger James. I believe this is Magarick's best qualifying effort this year. Dylan Ibrahimian and Benjamin Ice there in Row 6, as you see Lucas Catano in 16th. As you go through the rest of the running order, Nate Rogers won the inaugural race here a year ago, driving the 9. Donovan Cage, a points leader, poor qualifying effort. He starts 25th. Carrillo 27th. And then more down here through the back, including Reggie Fogelman, who's driving that truck that won here. And then Max Anderson and Gene Sanford with poor qualifying efforts. Looking at the point standings here really quickly as the command is about to be given. Cage with an 11-point lead over Baranowskis coming into this race, with Benjamin Ice 37 back. Those are the only 3 drivers currently in the mix for the title fight. The command has been given. 4th, Jack James. 5th, Gene Sanford, 72-74 back. Mitchell Collins, 675 back. Then Pat Johnson, Winnie Calhoun, Roger James, and Lane Sanders. They round out the top 10, 87, 92, 102, and 103 points back, respectively. Green flag is out, and we are underway at Richmond. Sanders wasting no time, is going to make it 3 wide on Baranowskis and Nereza. Vince will see the high side make it very difficult to pass here on the bottom tonight.
Yeah, I think it'll be about patience and rhythm as you see Jack James in the 3rd. But finding that rhythm, especially on corner entry and exit, will be key. Middle of the corner, it's important to hold, but that exit you see on the acceleration where Sam Young just did, he pulls away by, let's say, about a half a tenth sometimes.
You saw there in turn 1, Nereza kind of diamonds it down into turn 2, pinches Baranowskis on the bottom, and that's what makes it so hard to get off the corner on the inside line, is you've just got no space to the truck on your outside. And that, when tires are fresh, inexperienced drivers like Nereza are going to be able to use up veterans like Baranowskis, but once those tires start to wear, we should see the veterans make better use of that inside line. As you see, Sam Young is just gone already. Collins 2nd, Henry Sanford there in 3rd, Jack James 4th as Nereza continues to hold off Baranowskis for 5th, and he will do it. Now Lane Sanders to her outside. Ooh, almost contact there. As you mentioned, 3 wide back here as Ibrahimian is trying to move forward on the bottom. A fun little statistic I realized about Dylan Ibrahimian coming into this weekend was that he has never started on pole in his Jerky Pro Truck Series career. And he has been around since about 2019, I want to say. Sam Young got his... where is he? Third career pole with the pole tonight. But 6 laps in. And Sam Young with the fastest lap of a 22.783. Actually, no. Now Ibrahimian has run a 783.
No Sam Young again.
And now, looks like the field is bunching it up behind Mitchell Collins as Sam Young has already a 1-second lead. And it is smooth sailing right now, Vince, but we don't call it the short track leader curse for nothing.
We got pit stops too tonight, so that's...
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I'm guessing pit stops are going to be different tonight than we usually see because of the length of the race, as Henry Sanford will put a move on Collins for second. Nareza looking to the inside of Jack James. But the pit window, I believe, is around 46 to 50. So we could see potentially 2-tire calls. I'm not really sure. There is a decent amount of tire wear here. I think it's about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds. Nothing too crazy. But Collins holds off Sanford for second. Now Jack James on the outside trying to get a run as Nareza holds low. And now Lane Sanders is going to put a move on Baranowskis. That is for 6th. As you see, while Collins holds up this group, it looks like Billy Kidd is holding up the group behind. Got Billy Kidd in 9th. He had that great run at Auto Club. And Magrick in 10th. Roger James 11th. Benjamin Ice and teammate Lucas Catano are right there, 12th and 13th. Bradley Reen currently 17th. Brad Lewis 18th. DeLello in 20th, looking for 19th. Donovan Cage and Yael Carrillo have been able to go nowhere so far. Back in this mess, I think maybe an undercut strategy for them tonight would work wonders. Still a little crazy 3 wide here at the back. Excuse me. As Gene Sanford and Max Anderson have been unable to move forward. Sam Young is gone, Vince. 2.5 second lead.
8th piece and out. That's pretty much it. But the point is, what are you doing for Mitchell Collins? I don't think you can really do much. Billy Kidd's he's really starting to hold up, Mitch. I think maybe if Jack James can ever get to second, we'll start seeing a little bit of a hunt, but he's definitely doing his right to park the bus, as they say.
Ibrahimian by Lane Sanders for 7th after Lane's move on the 21 failed. And the 22 got to his outside. Got that pass made done. Henry's going to take another shot at it into turn 3 here. He was pretty even last time. He's got a bit of a nose ahead on the 14 this time. Let's see, it seems to be turn 2 where that outside really gets a good run. Let's see what the 87 can do this time around. Still pretty even. Now the Reza going to the outside of the 13. Baranowskis on the outside of the 22. They're losing even more time to Sam Young now, but they've got to go. They got to get by this 14, Vince. He's just not helping them one bit.
There's no communication. That's the problem. You would think give and take, but it's such a short race. Aaron Audrey's really getting shuffled high and bullied up top, but I think Mitch should have a great run right here and still stay on that quarter penalty.
Now the Reza has passed Jack James, and he drops to the inside of Mitchell Collins, and Henry Sanford has cleared the 14. Collins will pull back down in front of the 66. Now you got to wonder, can he start pulling away? It's a 4-second gap to the race leader. This is where the battle is. Billy Kidd and his group have closed up to this group a little bit. See Baranowskis go high. Now, Vince, we haven't talked about it, but if you look at where pit entry is, Oh, we passed it again. Let's watch here when Sam Young comes by. If you look at pit entry, there's a yellow line and then an orange box. And if you clip that orange box at all, you will be held in your pit stall. That is considered unsafe entry. So we saw people get penalized for that in the Cup race last year, so it should be interesting to see if anybody gets penalized for that here tonight.
There's Mitchell Collins starting to lose time, and I think he just doesn't have the forward bite on the top. He's starting to lose it. He'll get it right here, but I think it's a matter of time before Audrey starts chewing him up.
Jack James fell to 7th. Ibrahimian and Baranowski's moving a spot forward, but now they're kind of getting stuck behind the 66, more so than the 14. As Nareza and Collins, both with 1 year of experience in the truck series. You see Baranowskis make that top side. Quick work of Nareza. But now this is why Sam Young, I think there might have been a little forward communication there, Vince, to be like, okay, Collins, you just hold them up and you run your line, and it's hard to pass as it is because we know that 21 truck is fast. And, you know, we want to get as big of a lead as possible in such a short race. So Sam Young, 4.5-second lead now. And if Baranowskis has anything for him, it's going to be very difficult to track him down. Now, she is 5 seconds behind the race leader.
I don't think pit strategy can really do much. At this point, they're only hoping, like you said, illegal pit entry from Sam Young is the only way he screws this up, or a pit crew mistake. That's about it.
Well, he is fastest still. You see 23.48 last time by to Sanford's 6.16. I'm not sure what Baranowskis or Ibrahimian could do. I think Ibrahimian is the second fastest truck on track. I'd like to say the 21 is right there with him. But it has been very difficult to get by Collins. See Ibrahimian trying to put a move on Baranowskis now, as she can't get by Collins either. Meanwhile, for top 10 battles, Vince, nothing has happened back here. Billy Kidd still 9th. Magrick still 10th. Benjamin Ice is trying to find the way by Roger James. Ron Bishop is up here in the mix. But nobody has really moved. Donovan Cage still 25th. Carrillo 29th. And others at the back. It's just been very difficult to pass here, and this was quite the qualifying type of race.
Track position's heavy. Yeah, that's the key. Is there's Audrey again to the high side. Should have the bite, but this is just hurting her even more.
And the funny thing here about these two being side by side is they're still keeping up with Collins. They're about equal behind the 14. But Henry Sanford, as I mentioned, has been unable to do anything to close the gap to Sam Young.
14's holding up everybody now. Billy Kidd's starting to get into this mix. That second pack, you could say.
And it's just so hard to pass here that talent gap, you know, because it's a short track, that talent gap really kind of tightens up. The experience doesn't matter as much because it's so hard to get by people. You got to set up your runs and whatnot. You see, Audric looks like she might have a run here. Will she move to the inside of Collins? Nope, she'll check herself up, and now Ibrahimian is back to her inside again. So there's something you got to do, Vince. Is you'd think Baranowskis, being a champion, would know, like, you've just got to go for it. You can't wait for turn 3, which is the better corner, to make the move. You've just got to go for it, because now you've got Ibrahimian on your inside again. I would say, unless something happens to the 29, Vince, this race is his. He is gone. He has the best truck tonight. And nobody else can get by Collins to show what they're made of.
I just don't think Sanford really has anything either, even in second place.
No,
no draft, really.
He's losing 2/10 a lap anyway, and there's no draft for either of these drivers. this rate, Sam Young is going to start getting in the lap traffic. That could be the game changer.
Oh boy, yeah, Audrey just can't get around Collins, and now 22 is looking again, but no forward bite for the 22. As these tires continue. Silently, we're past the halfway through the fuel run. This could be big, man. Do we see a 2-tire call? I mean, that's the only thing that can spice it up as well.
We're not halfway yet. 32 is not halfway at 75. Well, halfway through the run. Yeah, you're right. I misread you there. Misunderstood you.
You're good.
Yeah, I mean, 33 laps out of 50 with a second and a half of fall off. I mean, I don't know. We're not halfway through the race. I think once you get past lap 38, that would definitely open up the window. But I don't know if anybody wants to bite that early. Ron Bishop going to get by Roger James for 11th. As Catano and Ice have been unable to get by the 74. Now Baranowskis is on the inside of Collins. Ibrahimian is running on the outside, though. And now Baranowskis will check up on the inside. See if Ibrahimian can roll that top. Now Ibrahimian looking to take 4th place away from Baranowskis. I think he might get it here off of turn 2. He is just about clear, and there he will go. Move the 22 up to 4th. Jack James went way high that time. Go ahead.
Look at this spread, man. I think Sam Young crossed 11 seconds between 1st to 10th. That's basically, if we had a full distance run, he might be able to catch the back half of that top 10, about 22 seconds back. But that's incredible. This is a domination performance that I haven't seen since Allison Rain in Vegas.
Or even maybe Seth Cole at Willow Springs this year. Yeah. Ibrahimian's looking to the inside of Collins, but didn't really set up a run there. You see Audra trying to set up a run herself to fight back. At this point, I'd say these guys are just fighting for 3rd. As there's Ibrahimian's move. Still can't get it to bite. Oh, he's pitting. Ibrahimian in the pit. Gotta watch this cone. Fogelman comes in. Sam Young had not pit just yet, and he's going to continue to stay out. So Ibrahimian biting. Henry Sanford's going to bite. We'll do this. Baranowskis stays out. Oh, Ice is going to get penalized there. Ream, DeLello, Mayhew, Max Anderson, I think, Austin Tyler, Scott Roush, perhaps. I think they were all penalized. Oh, and here's the big one. Sam Young. He's going to come into a pit road with everybody on pit road. Oh, this is going to hurt him. Baranowskis is in. Brad Lewis. Hayes Green. Oh, Chris White is going to be penalized. Didn't get down fast enough. Dagger and Braxton, the last 2. And now Ibrahimian knows. Ibrahimian knows that Sam Young, he is on a bustling pit road. And he has just gotten into his stall. It still might not have been enough for Ibrahimian, though. There he goes. Sam Young right side's up. Left side's up. Sam Young will come out in a hornet's nest of lap traffic.
There's Sam Young, I think. Still has the lead, though, I would think.
Yeah, 22 is nowhere in sight. So Sam Young retains the race lead. Oh, and Donovan Cage got hit with one of those penalties. That's big for the championship. Benjamin Ice, of course, as well, the only other driver there. So 2 of the top 3 in points, Vince, hit with that commitment penalty. Oh, and Donovan Cage has a separate issue, I think.
Oh, no.
Nope, Donovan Cage is on track. Someone is still on pit road.
Hello?
And it is DeLello, yep. Oh, that is a terrible break for him. He is just getting service now. Ibrahimian got it up to third. Or stayed in third, rather, with that strategy call. He's right behind Henry Sanford, who is 6.8 seconds back of race leader Sam Young. Lane Sanders in 4th, Collins 5th, Roger James 6th, Nareza 7th, Baranowski's down to 8th, Jack James 9th, and Billy Kidd 10th. So, top 10, same drivers, but shuffled. Donovan Cage likely going to finish 41st, unless he gets up to this 54 to challenge for 40th.
Roger Baranowski's won big, though. Even though it may not be winning big right now in this race, in terms of the point standings, that's I would think the points lead would shuffle here tonight.
Sam Young has lapped up to 23rd, and he's looking for more. See Scott Roush with the fastest lap tonight at 22.689. But Roush is currently 33rd, a lap down. So let's look at what this means for Sam Young, though, in the championship hunt. As he was doing terrible at the beginning of the year. Sam Young up to 17th coming into this race, 122 points back. So the lower Baranowskis finishes, the more points he will gain. Let's see if I can do the math here real quickly. I believe Baranowskis will receive 38 points if she finishes in 8th, so Young would gain 22. That would put him 100 back of Cage. And Baranowskis is 11 back, so that would put him 89 behind her, I believe. I believe that's correct. So Sam Young, Vince, I mean, man, he had some terrible first few races, but he is on the money now after that win.
That Big Mo, man, he's got the Big Mo on his side. But even though he gets this win, just next week is unpredictable. That's why you got to bank a win here, because we know Martinsville, we've seen everything there. That's a problem in the field.
And so Sam Young, if all things go good here for him in these last 25 laps, he'll join, I believe it's older brother Dylan Young, who won here last year as a winner at Richmond. So that'll be a cool little statistic there. Two Youngs having won at Richmond. We've actually got 2 Rogers have won at this track. Nate Rogers has won here in both Trucks and Cup. And Ace Rogers won here in Cup in 2020. So a cool little stat there. Could that mean we see another Young or a Rogers driver win tomorrow, Vince?
Yeah, the fountain of youth, as they like to say, forever young. But now let's see what happens with Sam Young. I don't want to jinx him, but he definitely can just put it in cruise mode here, 7.5 seconds ahead. I just don't think anyone's got anything.
How about a tough day for Carrillo in 30th? Max Anderson 32nd. So Henry Sanford sits in 2nd. Ibrahimian 3rd. Cage is on fresher tires in 41st. 22.9 to 23.1. I think Cage could get to the 54 here and salvage another point, but that might be it. Sanders is chilling by his lonesome here in 4th. Collins in 5th as Baranowskis is being held up here by Roger James, and I believe Nareza is being held up by James as well. Jack James in 9th is closing the gap to these 3. With Billy Kidd right behind him in 10th. But Ron Bishop, he's closing the gap in 11th with Brad Lewis and Lucas Catano on his bumper. How about Reggie Fogelman? Strategy worked out big for this guy. He is up to 14th. Magrick, we saw get hit with that penalty, down to 34th. Mason Dagger, 15th. PJ Vidal, 16th. Braxton, 17th. Joshua Johnson, Hayes Green there's got hit as well. Daniel Brown. Benjamin Iceman, a big one, 36th out of a top 15 running spot. Jack Holton, 20th. Jessica Strauss, Gene Sanford. Chris White, Bradley Ream got hit, and then there's Morris Reeves, the last truck on the lead lap. So yeah, Vince, not much to talk about right now, really.
Yeah, I don't really. Normally we would have a lot more to talk, but Richmond is just a hard place to track, and the pass, excuse me, it's a hard track to really even get any grip, especially as the tires wear. There's Cage trying, but it doesn't mean anything.
And we have gone incident-free in this race. In the Cup race last year, we had that four-wide wreck that took out race leader Nate Rogers. That's where the, quote, short track curse began. We saw it then happen in Jerky Pro the next week at Bristol.
Yep.
We saw it happen in Cup at Bristol. We saw it happen in Cup at Martinsville. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Truck in Martinsville with Ellison, I think, too, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, it was Ellison for trucks at Martinsville. But so far, so good here tonight at Richmond for the Jerky Pro Truck Series. And I really feel like the Cup one last year was a real stroke of luck that they were even four wide in that situation, but you never know what could happen at these tracks.
Tell you what, man, if Donovan Cage had track position, started up front, I think he could have challenged Sam. You know, he seems to be the best, just staying right there with these leaders.
No, he's also got like 3 lap fresher tires than these top two, so that's helping him out big. But the lead continues to grow for Sam Young. He's just kind of riding here behind Morris Reeves now. As Baranowskis has made it up to 6th, Vince.
Ooh, that's big.
Let's go find the 21. So she made it by Nareza. She made it by Roger James. So that's 4 more points in her favor over Sam Young. That would be a 93-point gap to them. If she can get 5th, that's 3 more points to her favor. But she's going to have quite the points lead. You know, 11 points behind Donovan Cage coming into this race, and he is going to finish, it looks like, 41st. So she is going to gain about 37 points or so on him right now. And then with Ice was 37 back of Cage, so 26 back of Baranowski. She's going to have a huge points lead over him as well. So the defending champion is going to have quite the points lead here after Richmond. But you need to have it with Martinsville, Pensacola, the Motordrome, Pukekohe, Memphis, all those tracks coming up. So you know the Truck Series is gonna have quite the wild schedule here. Looking at the rest of the schedule. You know, it's a lot of shorties and roadies, and then the speedways they're going to go to are quite crazy, too, such as Kansas there. Jerky Pro, that is their standalone race. It's going to Kansas.
It's a very diverse schedule, but now these teams after Barnes will get a nice spring break, as they like to call it, and enjoy a little time off and then get back and find performance gains. Sam Young is maybe about to get a 10-second plus win here. He's definitely itching that number.
Baranowskis will clear Collins for 5th.
It's big.
Now I gotta wonder, can you catch the 31? Who has actually, the 31 has caught the 22 and 87.
Cage helped him out.
He's looking. It'll be 8 laps to go here this time by. We're all kind of just chilling at this point. Jack James has actually fallen to 10th under Billy Kidd.
Good run for Billy Kidd. He's been
Ron
having some
Bishop.
good runs.
Ron Bishop, though, does not look like he will challenge for a top 10. Just kind of seeing here if Lane Sanders has anything for Ibrahimian, since we know the 22 pit as early as he did. And, oh, he's looking. He's looking on his inside. I want to know if Audra is closing here at all. A little bit. 10th and a half that time by.
Yeah, we're getting close to 5 to go, man. If Audra's got anything, it's got to be quick. And then once she gets there, I just don't think it's going to happen. Passing is such a difficult option here with tires so wearing.
Lane's going to make a dive on Ibrahimian for third. Henry Sanford loves to see it. See, Lane just can't get it to bite there on the inside off of 4. And Baranowskis is actually closing on race leader Sam Young right now. Not that it matters. Oh, and the 51 has a vibration. Don't think he had the pit for that. Find the 51. There he is. Yeah, he is staying out, so a little vibration for the 51 there. But no concerns right now here at the end of this race. 3 laps to go for Sam Young. I mean, what can you say? Just dominated Willow Springs from the pole, and now a month later, doing it again here at Richmond. It's only 2 races later, Vince, but it's been a full month since that race at Willow Springs.
Yeah, it's just the Truck Series nature. But, man, what can we say? The clinic, the Sam Young clinic has started in the Truck Series. He got that first win. Let's see if it starts snowballing into more. He knows how to win.
He's led every lap tonight, Vince. Remember, he pit like last out of the leaders, and he's led every lap. Just domination central.
Lifeblack coming up in the air here for Sam Young.
One more time around Richmond Raceway as Baranowskis has closed the gap to the rest of the top 5. Down the back straightaway one last time for the second time in his Jerky Pro Truck Series career. It took 1 to get him going. Now 2-time winner in the Jerky Pro Truck Series is Sam Young here at Richmond Raceway. And Donovan Cage got 40th there right at the line. And I think Sanders held on for 4th.
No.
Nope, Baranowskis got him.
Even bigger points right there for Audra. Great day for her. Or night, excuse me.
The race is official. Billy Kidd got it up to 8th, and Nareza down to 9th. Jack James rounding out the top 10. You saw Roger James in there with a good run. Baranowskis, man, 18 one-thousandths of a second, getting Lane Sanders there. But great night for Sam Young. Domination Central. You see all the drivers who suffered there tonight. Got to get into pit road. And I'm sure the Cup drivers were watching. They know that when pit road gets busy, it is hard to get it into the entry. You don't want to lose a lot of positions. So make sure you don't hit that orange box. But that'll do it for us tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.